So my scene's pretty much clean. I have all my controls, all my joints, and my 2 geometry pieces. What I'm going to do now is have my controls manipulate my joints. Make sure everything's frozen, so select everything and freeze transformation on them. You got to do that before you start doing parent constraints. And that's the next thing I'm going to show you. Let's go to constrain, parent. I'm going to open up the option box really quickly. Maintain offset, set overrides, X all, that should be good. So also you can just do reset and that should also be fine. Set everything correctly. I also like to toss this onto my shelf. So what you're going to be doing is you're going to select the control. Actually what you might want to do here is just turn off the geometry since we don't really need it. So select the control, hit Q so you can actually select the joint within it. Make sure you have that joint selection ability on, and hit parent constraint. And now if I move that control, it'll move that joint, which will thus move the eye. So there you go. Now you want to do that for the rest of them. But I'm going to jump to the scaling first, because on the gills, because that's how they're going to be animated, is the gills. And, so select the control, select this. I'll toss a parent constraint in there too, but then I'll want to go into constrain scale, so it also has the scaling on it. So now when we come in here and we scale it, you'll see him breathe. After that, just go and repeat your parent constraints. So select the joint, hit parent constraint. If you want to know what the hotkey is to that, select the joint and then hit G, which will repeat the last command. I like to work my way from like the furthest out in, because if you select it, as you can see, everything turns pink below it, but what it's not. So this isn't pink, so I know it's not being constrained. Now if I select it, it turns pink, the joints, so you can have an idea if you've done it or not. So select G, G. Make sure you select the right joint, G. This one's a little bit done differently. When we're doing the parenting, you select the child first and then the parent. This is the opposite. You select the parent and then you select the child and then you hit the parent constraint. One of the ways I helps them remember it is I select, and what I want turning blue, that's when the parent constraint is the thing I don't want to actually ever place a key on. So I don't want to animate my joints, that's why they're turning blue. But I want to animate my controls. So those are all done. Let's do the fins. Don't worry about those things at the tips, because those joints will follow the ones beneath them, thus everything will still work. As you can see, there's a lot of repetition and rigging. Together. Let's go to the anal. Let's go to the dorsal. This one doesn't need to control anything because it's controlling these 3 controls which control the joints. Now I'm working my way down. Last but not least, actually not last but not least, the main control, I'm actually going to select it and come into my joints. Oh, the root is a group node, so you don't actually have to constrain it. If there was an extra joint down here, you would want to, if there was a root joint, you would want to control that root joint, that root group node right here. But this is controlling everything else, so when you move this, it moves, yet nothing's parent constrained to it. To double check to see if everything's constrained, you can actually just go through and select all your joints once, and they should all be blue. Now these are the tips of the fins, so don't have to worry about that. But I believe I actually did get them all. Next video I'm going to do a little quick little shortcuts on cleaning up the viewport so the animator will make less and less mistakes. So because you don't want the animator placing animation on joints, because that will destroy the constraint setup that you just created. So in the next video I'll show you that. Let's hit save.